Most people fear the end of their existence. It can come out of nowhere. One minute you have all the time in the world, and the next minute, it's all gone.
It's funny how quickly things can fall apart. One day it seems like you have all the time in the world, and then the next, it's gone.
Oh, I'm not talking about life. I'm talking about being an internet personality. You never know for what or when you'll be canceled. Maybe you were live streaming and you suddenly screamed out the N-word. Maybe you lied about a drama which caused people to dig into your past about other dramas you have talked about. Maybe you're completely innocent and the allegations against you are false. But too many people are against you and they won't listen. Or maybe you don't have the evidence to prove your innocence. Maybe you were associated with someone who did a lot of bad stuff. Did you do something that most people didn't have a problem with until later? Maybe you had a series where you reviewed video games, and the lowest ranking for a video game you could give was the ranking retarded. But now people are talking a lot more about mental health and saying the word retarded is as frowned upon as the N-word. You never know how society is going to change. But the point is, a lot of people are angry at you. You're losing subs. People who used to collab with you on the internet are now privating the videos they did with you. Maybe they're making their own videos saying that they never knew how horrible of a person you were until now, despite all the times you helped them out when they were in a jam. I know cancellation will come for me one day. It comes for everyone. It's not a question of if it will happen to me, it's when. When I finally do get canceled, I know there's going to be a bunch of dates under this video as to when I got canceled. Will it happen in 2025, 2022, or maybe this year? We won't know for sure until it happens. The bigger you get, the higher the chance of you getting canceled goes up. Most people don't give a shit if someone with only a few thousand subscribers does something. But if the same thing is done by James Charles or Shane Dawson, everyone will care. You made a video trying to defend yourself, but it got way more dislikes than likes. Maybe you're innocent, maybe you're guilty, but now it's time for the YouTuber apology. The first question is, should you even bother? I made a YouTube apology video myself and I lost about 250 subscribers, and a little over 10% of the video had dislikes. Believe it or not, that's a good outcome. At least it went over way better than Shane Dawson or James Charles apology videos. Now, one thing Kneecap said that was very good is there's only two things that can get you permanently canceled: pee around kids and yourself. So as long as you haven't done anything pedo related, most people should accept your apology. That's why James Charles and Shane Dawson's didn't go over so well. And by pee around kids, I mean if you blow out the candles on your 18th birthday cake, make sure to break up with your 17-year-old girlfriend or boyfriend the day before. Cancel bots do not care what the law says. In their eyes, you're the adult and they're a kid. So if you're being canceled for anything even close to pedo related, best not to even bother apologizing. The only thing I can recommend is to debunk the claims about you. Now I'm gonna go over two different situations: Cosmodor and the Spoctor drama. Cosmodor was 19 and he dated a 15-year-old and had plans to meet up with them. To be fair, he did live in Germany at the time where the age of consent was 14. And just because you're meeting up with someone doesn't mean you're going to have sex with them. The problem that Cosmodor faced wasn't just pee around kids, it was the yourself part. As much as Cosmodor likes to say, if I was 18 and they were 17, people would have still been just as angry with me. The problem was he kept on lying about the situation, making himself look more and more guilty, and confirming to people that he knew what he was doing was wrong. On top of that, less people had a reason to trust him. If Cosmodor was honest, yeah, he would have gotten a ton of backlash, but he would have eventually been able to make a comeback. The final nail in the coffin was when he did it a second time. Now, Spoctor's allegations were much more harsh. The age of people he sent, sexual messages to were as young as 13. And he apologized for everything he did, which just made him look really guilty. Luckily for Spoctor, someone made a video defending him, and then shortly afterwards, a lot of other people, including myself, also made videos defending him. Why were people, including myself, defending him? I mean, 13, that's pretty damn young. Well, the thing is, he was 16 at the time. and the 13-year-old was also about to turn 14. Sending sexy messages to someone when you're underage and the other person is underage and the gap is only about 3 years is way more easier to defend than someone being an adult, the other person being a minor, and the age gap being 4 years. On top of that, as far as I'm aware, Spockter didn't do it again, so that's good on his part. Another thing that will help you become more cancel-proof is what kind of content you make. If you're a really edgy YouTuber, then you have more edgy fans that are a lot more willing to forgive your actions. That being said, you'll be called out a lot more than a politically correct YouTuber. And I mean a lot more. However, if you're a politically correct YouTuber, a lot less people are going to look into your past or try to expose you for any of your wrongdoings. Call Me Carson was a pretty politically correct YouTuber, but as soon as it was found out that he dated a 17-year-old when he was a 19-year-old, all hell broke loose. Pyrocynical is a lot more of an edgy YouTuber, so when it got found out that he was 19 and sending sexual messages to a 15-year-old, a lot more people were willing to forgive him. Of course, the best example I can think of for a politically correct YouTuber being exposed for doing not very politically correct things is Creepshow Art. In my video about Creepshow Art has a lying problem, I said if Keemstar or Turkey Tom or other edgy YouTubers were exposed for something like what she did, no one would have given a shit. Think of your friend who's a total asshole or a total bitch. When they say something that's, well, bitchy, you don't care as much, but you would care a lot more if your polite friend did it. Never forget about the expectations people have for you. Every YouTuber pretends to be a lot more PC than they really are. I hate to rip the band-aid off, but YouTubers get up to a lot of questionable stuff when the camera isn't rolling. It's almost like they're flawed people who aren't perfect and make mistakes. Creepshow Art did what she did anonymously, thinking her identity would always be private, but unfortunately for her, it wasn't. And because she built her audience around calling people racist, sexist, homophobes for a lot less than what she did, she looked like a massive hypocrite. That also goes for Mundane Matt. He was flagging people left and right, thinking that no one would find out 100% for sure that it was him. But once he came onto a live stream, people forced him to show his flagging history. If he didn't show it, well, he would have looked guilty either way, so he really had no choice. The point I'm trying to get across is just because you think you're doing something anonymously, if it's on the internet, it's not anonymous. If you're going to try to be politically correct on the internet and call people out for, well, saying things that politically correct people disagree with, then make sure you're not a massive hypocrite. Because once people find out, they're going to give you the same charitable interpretation you gave to everybody else. Because that's what you built your audience around. Creepshow Art lost the most amount of subscribers, percentage-wise, out of any YouTuber. Why? It's because she built her audience around bashing people for doing, well, what she does. I try not to say, wow, yikes at someone who does, well, what I do. Like when I did my video on Ostrich Fox and he apologized, I accepted it and gave him a charitable interpretation because I know I'm going to be in his shoes one day. Whenever I'm in a drama with someone and they make an apology video and they genuinely mean it, I'm a lot more willing to accept it than, well, let's be honest here, pretty much everybody else. Because I know I'm going to be in their shoes one day, and I don't make videos to end the career of someone. I make videos to call them out on their actions, or to figure out what the truth is. If I call them out and they apologize, then my work is done. So why don't certain YouTubers apologize? For example, well, Creepshow Art. When Mundane Matt apologized, it was too late. Too many people were already angry at him. I originally thought if Creepshow Art apologized, she would have only lost 10 to 20k subs. And to be fair, she would have probably lost a lot less. As I said earlier, there's only two things that can get you canceled: pee-pee around kids and yourself. Well, Creepshow Art didn't really do any pee-pee around kids stuff, aside from allegedly having images of someone when they were 15. The problem this time was herself. Because she lied about what was going on, she made herself look even more guilty. And now less people are going to trust her, even if she does have evidence to prove her innocence. But why wouldn't she just apologize? That's the real question. I think it was because the lolcow leak revealed enough about Creepshow art that people could have gone to past dramas she was involved in or started and shown that she lied in a lot of them. I'm not going to go by all of them, but as you guys know, I am an expert when it comes to the Hopeless Peaches drama. And the fact that she was talking about Hopeless Peaches long before the drama with her started really proves that she was planning this all from the start. And that's just one out of many dramas. So she had a choice. Either lie and say this wasn't her, or apologize. If she apologized, I changed my stance, she probably would have lost several tens of thousands of subscribers. But I still don't think it would be as bad as it is now. Prismate Luke has made several promises that he would apologize, but he hasn't. And he still has the perfect opportunity to. He could just throw Creepshow under the bus, say she put him up to making the Hopeless Peaches videos. Why won't he apologize though? Well, your guess is as good as mine. So the main thing I want you all to take away from this video is that sometimes you need to apologize. Not everybody will accept it, but if you can get the majority to accept it, then it's a good apology. If you did anything questionable with kids, don't even bother, there's nothing you can do. That's why EDP never apologized. Speaking of apology videos and people being cancelled, I recently got more racist allegations, yay! Hopefully this is the last time I'll ever have to talk about it, but I'll talk about that on my old channel, not this channel. So if you want to know what's going on with that, check out the video that I'll link down below.